Q&A time, and I'd like to ask Nancy to come on up here to answer any questions that I can't.
I'm just your background.
So, does anybody have a question? Don't disappoint me. Come on, Dean. Ask the question. And let's see if Kathleen can answer. Okay, he wants to know the concept of all these floating clouds behind us.
The piece behind us is by Dr. Common. It's on loan trust from George Mason University. So we had enjoyed getting it up here and taking it, unpacking it. The piece, Rebecca is very deeply engaged with science. She's a world traveler and is interested in different religions and philosophies. So the structures are based on the elements of the periodic table. There's 83 beautiful clouds that unfold in the Fibonacci spiral. Each one represents an element on the periodic table and their orbital patterns. So each one is a little different. And it's called Divining Nature Elemental Card. Did I get that right?
Okay, did she get an A? She gets an A. Wait a minute. We're going to go take a little bit of a tour here. So what I'm going to ask you is we're all going to go up to the second floor, and would you tell us about this bicycle with the benzene and the cancer cells and the whole 9 yards of that experiment? Yes, please.
So for those of you that missed your spin class this morning, you need to make up for it now. We're going to be seeing a piece by Maria Michaels that is engineering and science and art all realized together. The piece, the Petri series Benzene Project, has images taken under a microscope of cancer cells treated with benzene. So you'll see these absolutely gorgeous flowers. They look floral-like in the Petri dishes. But of course, something a little darker than that. But to see them, you have to pedal. So there's a seat, someone pedals, lights them up, and then everyone else can enjoy the images.
And I have to say, Maria is very often making human-powered machines. So she comes, sort of makes us think about energy and how we're using energy and the innovative ways we can, we can generate energy.
So, any other questions? Any artist statements? Now's your chance, guys. Don't be shy. Chris? Come on, what's that piece about?
What's happening upstairs?
That's what's happening on the stairs.
Go ahead.
Stand up.
What's happening there is I put a number of contact microphones, which take vibration, translates it into electricity. And I'm taking that electricity, I'm amplifying a little bit before I bring it to the computer. So I have 11 separate channels coming into the computer of information, basically. And then I have 5 speakers going down the left-hand side of the stairs, and I'm able to map sound on that, on like a physical scale and physical space. And then I have the monitor, the big TV up against the side there. So at the end of the day, I have this infrastructure of contact microphones which give an input. Each stair is its own input, and then an output of the sound and video. But in the computer, I'm running a program that's written in Max MSP that has what I'm calling 3 seeds, C1, C2, C3. One of the seeds, as you might have heard, is piano sounds. The second one is more sort of synthesized sounds, and the third one is Le Jeté, the French art film.
Okay, Chris, I love it. But now you're beginning to tell us a little more than we need to know.
But you gave me a...
But I asked. Claudia, how about you? Please tell us about your piece. Welcome to come up here if you like.
Well, my piece is most about time, space and time. Is to question our relationship with being in this moment. And it's called Mixing Reality. So you go inside this infinite kaleidoscopic room with mirrors. And then you can, if you engage, if you can handle the mirrors, and you engage, you start seeing that you see the past, and you'll be engaging actually with the past that was inside the people or whatever was inside the installation. I give a little time for people to engage. This is a piece that is, some people may love it, some people may not be able to handle it, but this is how it is in our world, and the piece is only really completed if there is an engagement there. If not, it's just an empty room with mirrors. Thank you.
Okay, one more and then we're going to go on with a little bit tour. Where is Lise? Lise has been involved with this project from the beginning.
Hi, I work with my husband, Kurt Felshi. We collaborate and have for the last 20 years. Our piece is about texting. It's called A New Dialect. And it exhibits a couple iterations of 3D technology. We have 3D printed figures that were fabricated and modeled. And then we will hold up some cards and trigger some augmented reality events while looking at figures through an iPad. We were concerned about, we're just struck with the way people's postures and interactions have changed with the advent of cell phones and texting and all the various sociological and communication issues that surround texting. And we also have a 14-year-old, so he just speaks in texting. So it just seemed like a natural subject for our work. Thanks.
Thanks, Lise. Peter, you had a question.
I did. My question is, how do you go about finding and selecting works like this that are so unusual in this exhibit?
Well, I'm going to ask Patricia and Kathleen to just say that, to also say to you that being in the business of art, like you are in the business of science, you know what medicines are out there and what your competition is and what the world of drugs or medicines that are there. So as you know that field, we know this field, and we tend to ask, as a curator, somebody who knows even more of the depth of this particular type of artwork. Did I cover it, or do you want
Do you want me to
say it?
I'll be quick, I promise.
Be quick.
I'll be quick. You know, I really wanted to kind of show for this show a kind of a breadth of engagement with technology. So it's not purely a science show, like the Maker Faire, if anybody knows about that, and I could talk about that for hours, but I won't now. Where people are really engaging with technology very directly as a subject matter. So I wanted artists who are using technology that becomes somewhat invisible, so poetic works. From that to people who are really engaging, like Maria Michaels, who's doing human-powered machines, is dealing with energy and human-powered machines very directly, to people like augmented reality, this sort of cutting-edge new kinds of technologies. So I wanted this kind of breadth of subject matter, because I think that people don't always realize how engaged with technology artists are, and how much they talk to scientists, and how much they work with scientists. I mean, some of these artists, Maria's going to be an artist in residence with SETI, and Kathy High runs a bio-art department at Rensselaer Polytechnic. So I mean, these are artists who are really deeply engaged in the subjects across the board. So for me, it was a kind of a breadth to give that sense that artists always use technology, but that they're often also engaging with it very directly. And it's wonderful as a curator to be able to kind of reach out to people that I know, and also spend a fair amount of time researching people that I don't know, artists who are really working on the cutting edge of these subjects. So that's sort of you want to add anything to that?
Do you want to add anything, Kathleen?
I think between the two of you.
Okay. So, just so you know, we had lots of arguments as we looked at all of the different. I mean, this show could have incorporated probably twice as many artists as Patricia selected, and going through the work, she sort of divided it up into several different categories, showing what she thinks is best and most accessible of those categories. So that's why you partner with those questions.